Crassula ovata is definitely one of the most popular succulents out there. I've always wanted to make a video about Crassula ovata only because I know for beginners, it is very important that they get introduced to Crassula ovata. In today's video, we will dive in and answer these questions. How do we know when it's healthy? How do we know when we're overwatering or underwatering our jade plant? What does it look like when it's sunburned? And most importantly, how do we propagate our jade plant? Welcome to our backyard, and I would like you to meet Luther first of all. He follows me wherever I go, and I call him Mr. Shadow. It's another beautiful day in California, as you can see, and I will take you to this side of our backyard. You probably know this already, but Crassula ovata or jade plant is known to be a money plant or something that brings good luck. And in most cases, they are indoor as opposed to outdoor. Just so you know, the word ovata is actually from a Latin word ovatus, which means egg-shaped, which refers to obviously to the shape of the leaves of our jade plant. One thing to be mindful of, Crassula ovata can grow as tall as 8 feet. So that's one thing that you need to remember if you want it to be indoor. I keep mine outdoor. All my Crassula ovatas are outdoor. And the only challenge I have is spider mites. See those leaves with spider mites? I have a way of taking care of them. I have this garden insect killer that I get from Lowe's, and it helps. Let me take you over to this side. See those spots? They were from spider mites. Spider mites literally suck the juices out of the leaves and eventually will cause those spots that you see right now. Not good. Over here is my favorite and healthiest jade plant given to me by my mother-in-law Betty. And I did not start appreciating jade plant until she introduced me to this beautiful plant. I'm actually getting really excited because a red tinge on the edges of leaves are starting to develop, and that happens when they get high levels of sunlight. It used to sit on the south side of our backyard, and now it's on the east side. And I'm expecting these leaves will turn yellow eventually because of bright sunlight. Please remember, exposing them to bright sunlight doesn't mean watering them more. Crassula ovata requires little water, especially in the summer. Otherwise, their leaves and root will rot if you overwater. Let me take you to this side of our backyard. I have another Crassula ovata over here. And on the east side of our backyard, they definitely get the 4 to 6 hours of direct sun that Crassula ovata needs. Crassula ovata is highly resilient to drought, wind, and coastal conditions. But if your region has a temperature that drops below 20 degrees Fahrenheit or -6 degrees Celsius, it would be recommended to bring them indoors. Frost will damage the succulents, especially their beautiful flowers. Over here, I'd like to show you this beautiful Crassula ovata planted in a beautiful pot. And I want to point out those spider mites. See those? I mentioned about the garden insect killer that I normally get from Lowe's. I spray them with this, use brush to remove them, and I monitor on a daily basis. 99% of the time, it's pretty successful and effective. So just like that. Make sure you don't overspray because you also don't want to drown your Crassula ovata. Let's talk about sunburn. Yes, just like us, they also get sunburn, but unfortunately, we cannot spray SPF on them. So that's how it looks like. And sometimes they just have to adjust. You can slowly expose them to heavy sunlight and then bring them inside or put them in a shaded part, and then maybe the following week you increase it by another 30 minutes. So gradually increase their exposure, and eventually they'll adjust and will be able to tolerate heavy or bright sunlight. The last topic that I want to talk about is propagation. My way of propagating jade plant is through cuttings. I made a separate video about propagation through leaves and cuttings. So if you want to know more about propagation, which is truly important, especially for beginners, if you want to reproduce your succulent collection, propagation is the most cost-effective way of doing it. I hope you'll find time to watch that video. And if you like what you saw, please don't hesitate to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. So this one here, I cut this 2 days ago, and with cuttings, you would like to wait for 2 to 3 days until it callus over. The reason why you want to wait until it callus over is because you don't want the ends to attract bacteria and eventually may lead to rotting. You want to make sure it's dry before it touches the soil. This beautiful jade plant here is from a cutting, and now it's thriving, really healthy, except for that part that got burned. But other than that, it's truly healthy. Oh, you see my dog, Luther? Hi, Luther. There you go. So it started like that from a cutting, and eventually it will grow some roots. So I pulled this out from one of the pots that I also have, which was from a cutting as well. Lastly, I want to talk about underwatering because it's really important. We know that they are very resilient and they don't need a lot of water. You also have to be mindful of not neglecting them. This is a great example of underwater jade plant. See, the leaves are very wrinkly, and if I touch the soil, it's dry. I hope you find the information we shared with you about Crassula ovata helpful, and we got you inspired more than anything else to collect some Crassula ovatas. They are out there, they're beautiful, easy to maintain, and I'm sure they'll bring you good luck. If you like what you saw, please give us a thumbs up and maybe hit that subscribe button. We would like to see you in our next video. Thank you again for watching, and please stay safe.